Hey everybody, welcome back to DC Football 101. I'm your host Lucas, and this is of course a part of 14 Rings and NFC East podcast. We are coming to you live, well, not live obviously, but we're recording live obviously, about week 4 matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, which of course last year was a thrilling matchup where the Commanders edged the Falcons in a game to really kind of solidify the standings in the playoffs last year. One of Jaden Daniels' more memorable performances. And let's just start out there. He's been ruled out along with Terry McLaurin for this game. You know, we also lost Will Harris to the IR. Noah Brown and John Bates are also out on this game as well. So we got some injuries, but that's okay. Next man up mentality, right? Right. For the wide receiver room, this should be a big showcase for Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane. This is your guys' time to shine. We'll probably see a little bit of Chris Moore there too. And of course, this is the continuation of the revenge tour of Marcus Mariota. If you guys want more content on that, definitely check out my man Rio Robinson on the Rambling with Rio podcast. He does a lot of good stuff there. Friend of the pod. He mentioned this first, the revenge tour, and I tend to agree. I think it is the revenge tour for Mariota, who before coming to the Commanders did play for the Atlanta Falcons. Look, so this is just the continuation of said revenge tour. Look, Atlanta's coming in 1-2. Got utterly defeated last week. They're not in a good place. And we're going to get into the stats here. We already talked about all the injuries here. We did sign, of course, to replace Will Harris. We signed Darnell Savage, who, was with the Jacksonville Jaguars until this season. Actually, the beginning of the season, he did play 2 games with them. But he did not really put up that much stats. Last year, he did play 13 games with the Jags and had 40 solo tackles, 51 total tackles. He also had 1 interception for 16 yards and 6 pass defended. So look, the guy can do some things. That's good. I mean, he's just an added depth piece. I wouldn't see him too much often. I know Percy Butler's on the injury report as questionable. He should start if he's healthy. If not, we might see Tyler Owens or even more Darnell Savage than we were expecting, which is fine by me. Or even Reeves. It depends. Dan Quinn at the beginning of this week didn't really sound too committal, and last time I checked, there was no meaningful update on that, so we'll see what happens there. That being said, like I said, besides Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown being out, Ja'Cory Crosby-Mayer was also questionable, but he was working out with particular coaches, so there is hope there. We also have Jonathan Jones on the IR, and so the team is hampered, but that's okay, because like I said, we beat this Atlanta team last year. They are fumbling out of the gate so far. Look, Michael Penix does not look like the guy that was at the end of this last season. He looks like a rookie. Last year, he didn't look like a rookie. This year, he does. He's only completing 58% of his passes. He has already 2 interceptions in 3 games, sacked 4 times. So, not that great of a play for him. Obviously, Bijan Robinson's always going to be a problem. We're going to have to deal with that. But Bijan's not only their top rusher, he's also their top receiver. So if we can limit him, that's going to be the key here. Drake London still has been putting up good numbers. Same things for Kyle Pitts. But outside of that, nobody else on that team has really been contributing all that much. For Washington, we go to stats-wise. I mean, look, Mariota's been playing well for Jaden while he's been out. JCM has been the team's leading rusher with 125 yards so far. Terry's been the leading reception guy, but Debo's not far behind him, and he is going to play. And Debo has the most receptions and the most targets this season so far. So good news there. We'll be fine. So, and if we look at this, season stats, Commanders in terms of total yards per game, we're still top like 10ish. We're right behind Jacksonville and San Francisco and within the top 10. In terms of defense, and this is where I think it's really important here, because we're gonna have to make sure we can lock down, because Atlanta's defense has been elite. They've been top 2 so far in terms of yards allowed, so we got to make sure that we can move our offense. Mariota should be fine doing that. Our defense, though, is mid-tier at best right now. So in terms of yards allowed. So we have to do better on that. Okay. But special teams is where I think this is really going to be the case here, because Commanders right now, in terms of kickoffs, we have the longest kickoff returns per average of any team right now. And in terms of punt yards, punt average, we are in the top 3. So we are doing what we need to do. We've already scored a touchdown on punt returns, which is only one of 3 teams, I believe. Yes, 3 teams. So, and overall, we're doing good special teams wise, which was a concern after that New England preseason game. But it seems like the Commanders have gotten that figured out. Look, at the end of the day, it comes down to, can the next man stand up, step up, do what he needs to do, for our offense and defense, mainly offense though. And can we score what we need to score? Because their defense is elite. Like their defense is no joke so far within the first 3 games of the season. So can we do that? And can we be able to exploit their defense a little bit? We will see. Like I said, this probably will be the revenge tour of Marcus Mariota. No Jaden Daniels this week. No Terry McLaurin. No Noah Brown. No John Bates. Some other guys on IR that we're not going to see for a little while longer. But that's just what it is, guys. So, take it or leave it. But that being said, make sure you guys subscribe to us on social media. We are trying to continue to grow our fan base here. Make sure that we're trying to get 1,000 followers here on YouTube, as well as our other platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Make sure that you follow us on our socials, our Instagram, on our Facebook. We're trying to grow that, as well as our TikTok. We're trying to get those to 1,000 followers, and for our Twitter, or AKA X, we're trying to get that to 2,000 followers. So make sure you guys subscribe. I will be back week 5 for another breakdown of the pre-matchup against whoever we're playing next, and I will double check that next time. But until then, deuces.